Well, here we are folks, we're on to SLEEZY number 6. We're on the tail end of sorting out everything for registration. We're about to do the bodywork, and that is pretty much it, Stu. So
looking forward to this actually.
Yeah, I know, it's been a long time coming. Yeah. It's the final sort of piece of the puzzle. As mentioned in the last video, we've got a little bit to do. We're going to do the roof just as a cheap and nasty repair. We are going to do the bonnet, the passenger's door and the passenger's rear fender in real steel basically. That will always stay part of the car. Alright, what do you say we get started? Let's basically pick at all this rust and find out just how bad it really is. Yep. Let's reveal it to bare metal.
See what we're up against.
Alright, let's get him sorted. Not pretty. We've got a few bubbles down here too, I think we should probably look at. I actually think it's got its shape, but someone's put a little bit of extra filler on here when they've done some repairs in the past. But oh well, look, it is what it is. We'll cut it all out and we'll weld some new steel in it. Having a bit of a poke on this door, it doesn't look too great either. Looks like there's a lot of fiberglass down the bottom here. Sort of begs the question of how much steel is actually left to weld onto. Whether we purchase another door or carry on with it. I'd rather do a proper job on it, but look, at the end of the day it is still going to be a race car, so it's probably going to get belted a fair bit. But, yeah, it's looking rather ugly with all this fiberglass filler in there and this netting or whatever you...
Yeah, it's more like gyprock setting tape, I think.
It is, isn't it? That's not pretty. That's not pretty at all. Look at that. Shouldn't be able to do that. Oh dear.
Let's get multi-grips onto the edge of it and pull it out.
Isn't it? Oh dear, look at this. Look at this. That's just a disaster. Look at that.
It's just tape all the way along.
I think it is. Wow. It's quite a nice little can of worms we've opened.
There it is.
Alright, we're wasting our time using the screwdriver now. It's all pretty bad. Might just try a bit of this and...
Or run a grinder along a blade, cutting blade along here, and
might just try to get a feel for where we've actually got some metal. Still there.
Yep.
Some sort of steel here. Not good.
No.
I mean, there's some steel in behind here, but it's not great. Rather than having all this dust, I might put a bit of heat on from the mat gas. That will actually lift a lot of this fog off the metal anyway.
Oh yeah, that's good.
It'll help me sort of peel it back. Hopefully we don't set fire to the car, but anyway, we'll be right.
At least we open the door.
Yeah, exactly. It's called Shelby Wright Garage, so. edges, it's catching on. Right.
Should have let the needle go.
I see how it's coming off in a layer now, a bit easier.
Yeah, now it's warm.
Yeah, just a little bit of that heat tends to help.
Yeah, it's made a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll keep working along with that. Yeah. Look at that softness. Looks like it's the whole way along. You know, you can buy bottoms from Rare Spares. I'm wondering.
Like a whole sill bottom, yeah.
Yeah, and that might be an easier option than making this from scratch.
Yep. I'll give them a call, see if they...
I mean, I can make one on the English wheel.
Yep.
And we can fold it. It's going to take some time versus $100 to just buy one and tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. So check the availability and the cost.
I think we might. I'll finish getting this off, but that whole bottom skin's gone. Makes it hard to do a proper repair when there's not much left to repair.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
So we may have to consider popping this door off, putting another door on temporarily, and repairing this off the car.
Repair it on the bench.
Yeah, repair it on a stand. But I'll keep stripping it. We'll strip the bonnet. They're the key factors. We already know with the roof we're just going to bog it regardless. The rear quarter we're going to fix regardless because it's part of the structure of the car, and it's not that bad realistically. The door and the bonnet are the ones that we may consider replacing depending on what we find. Alright, let's keep going. So as we reveal everything about this door, it's pretty fair to say that it's certainly had its day. You can see rust everywhere throughout it. There's no point saving this. Alright, so I think continuing on, Stu, let's see how bad this bonnet is, and we'll work out if we're going to continue to try to purchase items such as full panels or sections. Well, we've had a thorough inspection, Stu.
We have.
It's not great, so look, left-hand rear wheel arch, not a problem, we'll repair that, not too bad, that's about what we expected. Bonnet is pretty well shagged, we're going to try to find a replacement, but we can repair it if we have to. The door's had it.
Yeah,
it's not worth our time trying to fix the door in that condition, so we're going to crack open the cold ones. We're going to put a post up on Facebook and see how we go with the search. And with any luck, some folks out there will be kind enough to sell us a door and maybe even a bonnet if we can. So we're going to take a few days break and continue filming, hopefully with some new panels. If not, we will continue with the left-hand rear wheel arch regardless, and the bonnet regardless, but in the meantime we're going to hold out for that door, I think.
Yeah, I think it's our only choice.
Alright, well, let's drown our sorrows for a moment and we'll be back with you guys shortly. Bloody cars, eh? Righto, Stu. So after a few days hiatus, we've actually managed to score, or we appear to have scored, a full set of panels off an LTD. So we're going to send you on a trip very soon.
Road trip.
So you and one of your mates can head off and do that while I keep going. But in the meantime, we'll actually we'll do this welding properly on this wheel arch. We'll bog up the roof after we strip it back a little bit, and with any luck, in a few days' time, once you pick up those panels, we're literally just going to slam them on with the door and with the bonnet, and you know, because they're just too far gone. But hey, we're on the move. Let's get him sorted. We'll get him registered soon enough. Finally, let's go.
I'm going to say, so one thing I've got to say is I've got to show you quickly again, because I had a few people saying when I said this is beyond repair, it's not beyond repair, absolutely. So you know Mike's, this is Mike's channel, but you know Mike's Landau. You know, nothing's beyond repair. So when I said it's beyond repair, it's not. It's just a $100 door compared to 2 days of labour makes no sense. So I worded that poorly. It doesn't make sense to repair, is actually the...
Absolutely. Look, I noticed the commentary when you put the feelers out as well. Like, the reality is, yeah, I can fix it.
Yeah.
But I'm not prepared to spend 2 days fixing a door when for $100 or $200 we can get a replacement door. So
it's crazy.
Look, it is. You know, if it was a hard top, you know, Falcon hard top or a Landau or anything like that, yeah, I'd fix it. But for a sedan, no. They made millions of them, or maybe not quite millions, but they made a fair bit. So.
Just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Opportunity cost.
Yeah, exactly.
What else could you be doing?
Exactly. So, you know, look, folks, if you want to see me doing some proper repairs, you know, head over to the Landau build. You'll see lots of that stuff going on here. You'll see a little snippet of it here on this wheel arch, but we're not going to waste our time with this door and bonnet. It's just too far gone.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do with this wheel arch, I'm just going to do, it's fairly solid. I'm just going to do piecemeal. I'm just going to do a few cuts. I might start with this lower dog leg here. I'm just going to cut out a rectangular piece and cut a replacement piece out and literally just weld it in and grind it flat, and we'll just keep going all the way along, section at a time, and we'll knock this on its head pretty quickly anyway. We'll just trim a piece out to suit that. We'll use that as a bit of a template. Pretty straightforward. Weld him in, grind him up, keep going along. Such a small piece, and the difficulty in sort of holding it in place, just use a magnet to help me line it up. Makes it difficult for the initial weld, but once there's a couple of spot welds on, I can remove it and finalise it. So that's looking like a reasonably good fit there, I think. So what I'm doing with a little strip like that, I'm just starting from one end and working my way over. I just needed this to get it started. I'll move that well out of the way now. And I've got a little screwdriver to help move it in and out as necessary. But, we want to make sure we get that pretty level. So it'll move in and out. So each time we do a little spot weld, we just want to level it all out, top and bottom. So that's actually sitting pretty good as it is now. We just got to take our time, make sure that we don't get too much warpage. If it does happen, we want to minimise it. That's looking pretty good there. So we'll finish this off now with the welding and grind it smooth, and we'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll keep going with the rest. And here you can see the end result after using the flap disc. It's basically got enough for registration. On to the next parts, I suppose. I'd like to show you guys some of the issues that we deal with on some of these old Fords. Is that they run a seam sealer down the bottom and it's actually kind of acidic. You can see a little bit of the remains of the sealer there. As I sort of dig it out, it creates a lot of surface rust inside, so once the moisture gets in it destroys it, so we don't worry about putting it back. We're just going to hit it with a lot of inox and that will actually prevent the rust in future. As easy as that, we've got the next piece done. I'm going to knock this on its head bloody quickly, I reckon. Alright, keep going. Well, I reckon that'll do it for the steel work on the back end. We've got about a 5-cent piece left on the front right hand quarter. Let's tackle that now, Stu, and then we'll just literally lay a little bit of rattle can primer on for the night, bit of inox on the inside just to make sure it doesn't rust, and that'll sit for another day. And you know, the next day we work on it, we'll take care of the roof and do all the bog work and get it on primer.
Sounds good.
We're getting there.
We are.
All right.
Winning.
That's what we'll do.
Nice.
Alright, a little bit of primer on everything, a little bit of inox on the inside to stop it from rusting, and we'll take care of the rest of the body filler and priming on another day. And that'll protect from the elements as well, so we'll just get some inox on the inside and we'll call this day done. We'll give that a liberal spray. I've actually found that this is an extremely good rust protectant. I've had rust coming back on cars and I've actually come along with this stuff in the past and it's stopped the rust in its tracks, so I'm pretty happy to spray this in here. Happy days. Alright, we'll call this day done. I think next time we tackle it, Stu, we're going to do the roof and we're going to do the bog work.
Yep.
And on our way, and you've got a road trip coming up.
I do, yes. Off to Griffith. Get us all
Indeed.
at least a bonnet on the door.
Yes, indeed. Alright, let's keep going.
Let's do it.
And the goodies have arrived. Nice rust-free spares. There you go. There we go. Beautiful.
Oh,
Alright, well done, gentlemen.
far out.
That was a long drive from Griffith, eh?
Yes.
Well played. They look like some nice panels there we got for stairs. We're moving forward. It's time we take care of the body filler work on the roof and rear quarter. I think that'll do for bonnet prep. It's actually got a lot of crow's feet on it, but look, for the purposes of now, I don't really care. It's given it a light scuff back. We're going to give it a light coat of primer before we paint it in purple. Ordinarily, I'd take it back to bare steel, but it's a rally car and we need to get it registered ASAP, so it is what it is. Alright, so that's all the priming basically done. It's a rough job, but even though it is going to be a roughie, we are still going to use a bit of guide coat, just a bit of black. It'll help give us a guide once we're actually sanding it back. When the black disappears, we know that we've got a relatively smooth surface. So let's finish it off. We'll call that done. We'll let him dry for a while. Alright, so it's been a couple of days of drying now. It's now time to peel back the plastic that we've got here and expose the roof and trim it all up with our tape, and then block back the entire roof because we're going to spray the whole thing now. Going to use 400 grit sandpaper, wet and dry. So I touched on it earlier about using guide coat in the video, and if you have a look when I sand it, you can see what happens. You'll notice the lighter colour that's occurring. So as I continue to sand, you'll actually see where there are issues. So anywhere that still remains darker is actually a low part. So we continue to sand it all until basically it's all a light grey, or until we hit previous paint or primer or body filler and then re-prime it again. But that's if you're doing it properly, of course. But in this instance, close enough is good enough. Well, I just thought I'd give everyone an example of what guide coat is. You may have heard of it or not, but there you go. We'll basically continue doing the entire roof. Obviously I will focus primarily where we've done the work previously, but once that whole lot's blocked back, we'll give it a coat of paint. So as we take a closer look after sanding for a little while, you can see a bunch of the dark grey spots. So that means that if we paint it as it is, it's going to be quite wobbly. But that's okay, because this is just a rough job. We're painting it outside, it's going to be pretty rough looking anyway. This will do for today. However, if we were going to do a proper job, we'd probably prime it 2 or 3 times just to make sure that we get everything dead flat. But this is basically a prime example as to why we use a guide coat and just how important it is. You know, I can feel it as well when I rub my finger along it that it's quite wobbly. So you know, when you sort of wonder why high-end paint jobs cost so much, it's because you're doing this a few times to get it mirror smooth. Anyway, we'll keep it going. We need to continue sanding the rest of this roof and we'll get it painted as soon as possible. even though the roof is now currently done, it's still a little too hot to paint it in the sun. So I'm going to keep going by scratching up the rest of these panels so they're light purple. And with any luck, we're going to get a bit of paint this afternoon. Time to lay some colour down. So whilst that cures for a few minutes, we're going to take care of the roof. We're going to lay down some colour on some roof, and then we're going to clear coat the whole lot. So now that we've got a light coated base coat, time to jam some clear on it, then let it dry overnight, and then we can look at doing the rest of it tomorrow. And it also happens to be inspection day. Let's get him sorted. All the roof done. Gonna get this door and bonnet sorted. Well, that'll do us for today. Let's finish it off tomorrow and let's get him registered. Well, it's the next day, we've got to keep it rolling. Got our rego inspection due. Quick dash of clear to lock him in. Alright, so finally stripping this door apart, get him swapped over, get the bonnet swapped over, we're good for rego. Fingers crossed, we get a tick of approval. To the rubbish pile you go. Rusty piece of shit. And we'll try to line him up. You've got to go down.
Down. Nice.
Alright. Alright. Go. Listen to all that rust. Shotgun. Well, that'll be time we head off for our rego inspection then. Wish us luck, folks. Wish us luck. That's alright. We're on our way. Let's go and get some rego, eh?
We're vaguely on time.
I'm a little scared too, to be honest.
Of this inspection.
About being on time.
Oh right, yeah, it is scary, isn't it?
The notion that something might go alright is rather scary.
We actually got 15 minutes to do a 10-minute drive.
Yeah, I know. So something will go wrong.
Yeah, pretty much guaranteed, isn't it? The Araldite's hanging in there.
Yep.
We decided to give up on specialised wing mirror revision mirror glue and go with off-the-shelf just Araldite, and it works much better than the stuff especially for the job, which is ridiculous.
Well, the gearbox feels okay so far.
Yep.
Which is
That was the original gearbox, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fine. The brakes feel fine. They feel like they're meant to. So
Now they got that
that's
hose
okay.
replaced, that blocked
Yeah,
hose. Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
So you know,
got half a chance.
unless something has failed since we've checked it,
Yes.
it should pass.
Like a light or
My only fear is that some stupid item like a light bulb was gone in the meantime.
But they'll probably let us fix that on the spot.
You can fix it on the spot. We'll buy it for $2 and
Exactly. Yeah.
off you go. Engine's up to operating temp now. Let's just check that it doesn't overheat
Yeah. Right.
on a trip like this.
Yeah, that's definitely something we haven't checked.
Yeah, so it was fine in the driveway, but it's always good to check out. And there we have it, folks. Mission accomplished.
Well done.
We are done. Check it out. Here's our blue slip. It's the right colour.
It's the holy grail of
The holy
cars. Getting that paper.
SLEEZY is now road legal. We are going to send off the paperwork for our conditional registration. And on that note, Stu, I think we deserve the cold one.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Love your work.
Love your work.
And our next video is going to be having some fun with SLEEZY.
Yes, off-road. In some dirt.
Indeed.
Sideways sleazy.
Looking forward to it. Sideways SLEEZY coming up. Righto, folks. Catch you on the next one.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Hey Mike, check it out. It's just like Mount Fuji. Snow-top peaks.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm meant to be fixing it, not decorating it. Third.
So, two-tone rubbing strip it is.
Yeah. Bit of gaffer tape and bog. I can't see a fucking thing.
I know. You don't keep them in your workshop, do you?
Oh. Ow. What? Yeah, just a little hot and sharp, that's all. You know that gas switched on? Helps if I actually had a fucking nozzle.